Chapter 21. A Boy and His Dog. Sometimes life makes decisions for you, and it's best not to fight it and just to go along. When the morning sun shone through my round window, I raced downstairs to see if the dog was still in the screened porch. I swung open the door. There he was, lying on the makeshift bed of blankets we made for him. The minute he spied me, he sprang to his feet to greet me with whimpers of excitement. I petted him, then fed him more dog food, and filled his water dish. When I turned to leave, the dog trotted behind me. "I'll be back," I told him. "I promise." The dog tilted his head, and his big eyes looked up at me, trusting. It killed me to hear him whimper and scrape at the door when I left. I begged Honey to let me off dawn patrol just this once, but she wouldn't allow it. "A dog is all about accepting responsibility," she told me. "And being old enough for a dog means you're willing to accept responsibility." Macon, Lovey, and I raced through our turtle patrol duties, then rushed back to the bird's nest. The dog barked and whined and jumped all over us. He was so happy to see us. His tail wagged so hard and fast that his butt wiggled. "He's so cute," Lovey said. "He's so dirty," said Macon with a frown. "I'll bet he's covered in fleas." "You're just in time to help with the bath," I told him. "I have no clue what to do," said Macon. "I've never had a dog before, or any pet." "It's easy," said Lovey. "First, we need a hose." "This way," I said, and led the dog to a spot under the house. "Jake, you hold on to the dog while I spray him gently with the hose," Lovey said. "And guys, prepare to get wet. Ready?" The dog wagged his tail all the more and his tongue hung out of his mouth, happy for the attention. In the summer, the water from the outside faucet was as warm as bath water. Macon squirted soap all over the dog, and Lovey and I took turns lathering him up with our hands. I could have sworn I saw the dog smile. By the time we rinsed off, we were as wet as the dog. When he shook his wet fur, he sprayed all three of us. We stepped back, laughing. Macon and I patted him dry with a towel, and Lovey brushed him. "You know, with all the pluff mud and sand burrs gone, he's a pretty good-looking dog," said Lovey. The dog licked my face. "He's beautiful," I said. "I wonder what his name is," Macon said. "Did you check the tag?" "It's just a rabies tag," I answered. "Let's give him a name," Lovey said. "How about Bubba? That's a good low-country name for a dog. Or maybe Bo. No, scratch that. Buster." "Too common," I said. "He needs a special name, like Braveheart. Think of how brave he had to be to live out in the wild by himself." "We don't know how long he was out in the wild," Macon said. "Maybe it was one night." Lovey lifted her chin. "How about whoever gets to keep him gets to name him?" Macon and I looked at her, mouths open. She'd said aloud what we were all secretly wanting. "I want to keep him," I said. "I'm the one who figured out he was a dog, and he's at my house." "We all found him," Lovey fired back. "Plus, you have to go back to New Jersey at the end of the summer." "But I've always wanted a dog," I told her, feeling suddenly defensive. "So did I," she said. Macon said morosely, "I wish I could keep him, but Mom says with the baby on the way, she can't allow a big dog in the house." I was surprised that Macon had already asked permission. I had not worked up the courage yet to ask Honey. "Well, we can't get our hopes up anyways," I said. "He obviously belongs to someone. He has that collar." We all fell quiet while petting the dog, who was now flopped out on the driveway with his long pink tongue hanging out of his mouth. His watery brown eyes looked at us with relief and joy. I thought about how scared the poor dog must have been. A fire department pickup truck rolled up to the house. It was one of the very few vehicles allowed on the island. We watched as Chief Rand stepped out of the truck. He wiped his brow and looked around. Then, spotting us, he waved and walked toward us. "So here's the furry mischief maker," Chief Rand said, bending down to pet the dog. "Sounds like it was a pretty crazy night for you kids and your four-legged hostage." "He's really nice," I said, feeling the need to defend him. "We just gave him a bath, and he didn't nip at us or bark. Not once. Not even when Honey pulled sand spurs off him." "Well, I yelp when I get those prickly suckers on me," Chief Rand gently held the dog's face with his hands. "You did a real good job cleaning him up." He ran his hands down the length of the dog's body. "He's a skinny thing, likely been lost for a while. I'd say he's one lucky dog to have survived in the wild with coyotes around, too. Does he belong to someone on the island? Lovey asked. Chief Rand shook his head. I put the word out, but no one stepped up to claim him. Plus, I think I know every resident dog on the island. I've never seen this guy. Well, then, how did he even get here? Macon asked. Rand stood up, stroking his bearded jaw in thought. It's possible he swam over from Capers Island. It's a short distance from here. Deer do it all the time. They do? I tried to imagine the sight of deer swimming across the inlet. Yep, this poor fella probably got left behind from a boating trip. On purpose, he shrugged. He likely smelled food on Dewey's and swam over. The chief looked down at the collar and read it. It's good to know he's up to date on his rabies. That's one less worry. And it showed. He belongs to someone. I looked into the dog's liquid brown eyes. Something inside of me shifted, and I just knew this dog was going to be mine. Somehow. Do you have to take him away? I asked. We all love him already, Lovey said, wrapping her arms around the dog's neck. Chief Rand's face softened. He reached up to scratch his beard again. Tell you what, he said. He spoke to all of us, but his eyes were on me. I'll take him to the vet on the mainland to check for a microchip and make sure he's healthy. Then I'll report him to the local animal shelters to see if this dog is on any lost pet list. If I come back empty-handed, I'll bring him back here. I don't see much point in him having to stay in a cage at a shelter when he could be living the good life out here on the island with you kids. We jumped to our feet, cheering. The dog jumped to his feet, too, and barked. Thanks, Chief Rand, I exclaimed. Hold on now. Rand motioned for us to calm down. We have a lot of hoops to jump through first, and I have to know your grandma agrees to all this. What she says goes. She'll say yes. I didn't know what I'd have to do to convince her, but I'd figure something out. I just had to. Then say goodbye for now. Hopefully I'll have this dog back to y'all soon. What's his name, anyway? My friends and I looked at one another. I remembered what Chief Rand had said when he first saw the dog. I'd say he's one lucky dog. His name is Lucky, I said, and looked to Macon and Lovey for agreement. Lovey and Macon both smiled and nodded. Waiting for Lucky to return seemed like the longest day of my life. The three of us tried to pass the time catching a meal. We hung out at the crab dock armed with long-handled nets and a bucket, but we were quickly run off by curious alligators. Only the tops of their heads and dark bony ridges of their backs visible as they drifted lazily toward us like logs in a pond. Lovey suggested a cart ride to the northern end of the island to fish, but the bright afternoon sun was zapping our energy and we'd keep the fish away. July was the hottest month of the summer in South Carolina, and this felt like the hottest day. So we retreated to our usual hangout, the nature center. Inside, the air was chilled and a fan circulated it in a gentle breeze that cooled our skin. We got out our journals to recap the wild experiences from the last 24 hours. Each of us had our own best way of telling stories. Macon's notebook had lots of cool facts, and he wrote long paragraphs about what he saw, and more about what he felt about it. I could draw. I felt good about my skill after a month of practice. My details were better. Honey told me frequently how good my powers of observation were. She said I was a born naturalist. Lovey's drawings were not as detailed as mine, but, well, prettier. More like paintings. Her art classes were paying off. She filled her pages with color. I was jealous of the way she could draw faces that actually looked like the people she drew. Her drawing of Lucky was just plain beautiful. When I returned to the bird's nest, the fire truck was parked in the driveway. My heart skipped a beat. I darted up the stairs and raced into the house. Chief Rand and Honey were talking at the kitchen counter, coffee cups in their hands. I searched the area, panting, but I didn't see Lucky. Honey looked up, saw my face, shook her head, and smirked. Go on to the porch. That lucky mutt is back. I dashed to the back porch. There was Lucky sitting like he belonged there, wearing a brand new red collar. I slid open the sliding glass door, and in a flash I had the dog in my arms. I gave him head scratches and belly rubs, and I wasn't ashamed of the tears. Chief Rand and Honey stepped out onto the porch. So far so good, Jake, Rand said. He isn't microchipped, and the vet gave him a clean bill of health. And flea medicine, Honey added. I posted Lucky's picture at the local community center and on the ferry, Chief Rand added. I also ran a check of the local animal shelters. So far, no one's posted a lost dog of his description, and no one has claimed him. Yet, Honey warned. I just know no one is going to claim him. He belongs here. I gave Honey my most desperate, pleading look. Please, can we keep him? You can stop begging, she said with a wave of her hand. I already told Rand that Lucky could stay here. Temporarily. We have to wait 72 hours for someone to call about the dog. After that, we can discuss Lucky's future. Chief Rand winked at me. Animal control is not coming out to us. So the way I see it, possession is 9/10 of the law. I smiled and buried my face in the dog's fur. As if Lucky heard my thoughts, he put his paws on my lap and started licking my face. It tickled, and I couldn't help but laugh. Chief Rand chuckled and said, "A boy and his dog." Honey crossed her arms and sighed. Sometimes life makes decisions for you, and it's best not to fight it and just to go along. Dear Dad, you're not going to believe this, but we have a dog. Honey just doesn't know it yet. His name is Lucky. We had our stakeout last night for the turtle nest. We thought he was a coyote, but we saw it was just a scared lost dog. And hungry. He probably smelled the beef jerky tucked in Macon's pocket. I know you've always said no pets for as long as you and Mom are active duty, but he needs a family, and I think we could all use some luck in our lives, don't you? Please write to Honey and tell her I can keep him. She'll do anything you ask. I want him so bad. I don't think I ever wanted anything more, except you getting better. Here's my best drawing of Lucky. I promise he looks way better than that. Can we keep him? Please? I miss you. Love, Jake.